Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. It's a quiet day today. Considering it's Tuesday, it is Mars Day. So there's a lot of people are very talkative, very active today. I wanted to get on here and just do a quick show and tell. I hope you guys had a great weekend. And I'll be on here in a few more days and I will do the October forecast for you all. But I wanted to share something with you. I got this in the mail from a friend the other day, and I wanted to show it to you. So I got these new cat tarot cards that she gave me. They were brand new. Of course, I don't see them lasting too long in my possession, as one of my daughters is actually after them, but they're really cute. There's the Hierophant. It's all cats. It's adorable. The Lovers. Ace of Swords. So it's all cat themed. It's adorable. My friend Samantha gave them to me, and I want to thank her. They're beautiful. I love them. And I did get some little tarot card stickers. I believe that one is the High Priestess. And it's got some really cute ones in there. Another High Priestess sticker. It's cute. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you. I have one more thing I'm going to share, which I think is just absolutely hilarious. And I've never seen them before, so I always love it when I get these cards from her because they're unique and different. So there's these cards called Good Fortune, and they're food cards. So, for example, say you don't know what you want to eat today. Shuffle the deck. So everything is about food. Food related cards. So you draw one. Italian food. The King of Drinks. I have to agree with that one. The King of Drinks. Coffee. I love this one. A hot foot sundae is a hot mess. So yeah, they're really cute. You know, you got the link. Night of Sweets. Really cute deck. I like it a lot. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. Love it. Anyway, I wanted to get on here real quick and talk about Mercury retrograde. Yes, we are in retrograde. Mercury's been in retrograde 10 days prior to what modern astrology says. So around the 17th is when we kind of officially, in my opinion, went into it. And it's going to last pretty much through the 28th of August, or October, I believe. Anytime we're dealing with Mercury retrograde, and I was talking to my Patreon, I did a video before this for Patreon. This is where we have chain reaction accidents. And I always say, whenever Mercury goes into retrograde, you will always hear on the news about a horrific accident with multiple cars. You will always hear about an Amtrak derailment of some sort, which we just had in the Midwest somewhere. Joplin, Montana. I think it was in Montana. You always hear about bus accidents in this energy. So, all of you out there, drive safely, be careful. Now, this Mercury retrograde is in um, Libra, and Libra is more about marriage, contracts, partnerships. So, you will notice people will be a little more argumentative in their relationships. There may be more misunderstandings. So, if you are in a relationship, partnership, or marriage, do speak clearly to each other and understand that the forces at work are affecting your speech a little bit. So it's very important to speak clearly and let them know exactly what you mean, because this is where misunderstandings come in and where they can be blown completely out of proportion. Okay. Mercury retrograde also deals with energy, and I've noticed a lot of blackouts happen in this energy. So, something else to be aware of. It's not advised to travel in this energy. If you do, wait till the new moon to do it, but do expect delays, because just because you're traveling in a new moon does not mean you won't be affected by this energy. Um, it's just one of those things. And also, I want you to keep an eye on this volcano that's brewing in La Palma, the Canary Islands. Um, keep an eye on that. I brought this to light on my Patreon channel, on my Patreon page, about back an article I shared with them back in 2021, talking about back in 1949. There was I still have the article up, so let me just go to it. Okay, so this volcano has always been at risk for undergoing a large landslide. They've been monitoring this island and this volcano for a long, long time. And in 1949, it had erupted and there was a part of it that had collapsed. Now, I heard about this back in 2001, the Cumbre Viejo tsunami hazard they're talking about. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying this is a possibility. Um, where was I going with this? Back in 1941, there was an eruption, and it was a prelude to like a giant collapse of part of the volcano. And they said that if there was ever another major blast, that this could possibly collapse it right into part of the Atlantic, creating a tsunami. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but there's a lot of people evacuating, which completely makes sense. For those who follow my days of caution, you'll know what I mean. Um, this always represents forced relocations. And there you go. Um, but just keep an eye on this, because you never know what's going to happen with this volcano. And this is one of many active volcanoes around the world, but this one especially is, I find, very interesting. So um, I haven't heard anything on the news. I watched the news last night for the first time in a good couple of days, and I saw that people were still evacuating and lava had destroyed some homes. And I didn't hear anything about any part of the volcano collapsing. All I heard was it was just erupting. So um, let's hope it just stays at that and there's no collapse of it, because that could be devastating, and not just to that island, but to the whole eastern seaboard in some ways. You know, the things people say can't happen, Mother Nature will make them happen to test her strength and power and wrath. Just remember that. Never say never. Anyway, I did find that article kind of interesting. But I just wanted to get on here and warn you about Mercury retrograde. That means now we have 6 planets in retrograde. Um, what were they? Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune. Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune. I'm missing one. I always forget. Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune, Uranus, Mercury. 6. Had to think about it. So yeah, 6 planets in retrograde. I believe Jupiter leaves in a few days on the 6th or 7th. Um, I had made a mistake in my last newsletter about that, and I only put 5 were in retrograde. I forgot all about Pluto. Shame on me. I am human, and it happens. But I did add it back in. And so, yes, Pluto is retrograde too. Pluto is there till like the middle of January, beginning of January. It goes back. But I did want to bring this to your attention. And the last time some of these planets were in their, not retrograde, but um, in their house and sign. The last time Neptune was in Pisces, we had the fall of Rome. The last time Pluto was in Capricorn, this was the beginning of the American Revolution. And the last time Saturn was in Aquarius was when we had the Rodney King trial and that whole thing. Some of you weren't even born yet, so you might have to go Google that. So I find this all very interesting with things to come. I have talked about with my Patreon about what's coming for the next dragon a little bit. I will share 10 or 11 predictions closer to December with them. My public page, I will only share 2 with you, and as they unfold, I will show you what they are. But I'm already seeing the energies shifting. I'm seeing things taking place that when the last dragon was getting ready to change, you usually see these things 6 months before they go or before the energy shifts. And we are heading into October, November, December, and it shifts in January between the 18th and the 22nd, depending on what method of astrology you follow. But I'm already starting to see it. And one of the things I do foresee coming is some sort of a restructure with the police. Many wake-up calls for all of us. This dragon, if you thought the last one was bad, this one is not one you want to fuck around with. It will sting you. It will give you a wake-up call. And that's what these next 18 months coming will be. From January 18th, 2022 till about July 23rd, 2023. The changing of the guard happens, and we move into a dragon's head in Taurus and a tail in Scorpio. And this energy will be directly hunting for Taurus and Scorpio. It would be very wise for any of those signs to invest in their lucky and unlucky days, because I guarantee you, if I go back and look at all the lives lost, like famous lives, and all the lives lost this year, I guarantee you a great many of them either were June born or December born or have a dragon head and tail placed in those signs. So I will discuss that more in detail as we get closer to the shift. But right, for now, we are still in the entrails of the Gemini Sagittarian tail. And anytime you're dealing with a fire tail is going to go out like a lion. Okay. I've said this in my last broadcast, and I'm going to say it again. In fact, I need to bring something up because this is what I wanted to bring to your attention. Hold on. This is the main thing I wanted to bring up. Okay, so the reason I'm bringing this up about December is going to be one of the worst months. November might not be too good either. Like I said, I foresee another lockdown, and I foresee some food shortages and things like that. So stock up on certain things. I'm not saying go and hoard toilet paper, but I would go and stock up on toilet paper and common household goods, canned goods, peaches, canned fruits, vegetables. If you grow your own, that's great. Bags of rice, um, meat you can keep frozen that'll last if you eat meat, things like that, non-perishable. I've been canning sauce. My neighbor gave me a whole bunch of tomatoes, and so I've just kind of been a canning fool the last couple of days. But here's why I bring this up. We are having an issue right now at the Port of Los Angeles. Port of Los Angeles. This is where all the boats come in and unload their shipments, and this is where the trucks come and load that from the boat to drive to get to you, whether it's a Walmart or a Target or your Safeway or your Kruger's. It doesn't matter. A lot of these tankers that are sitting there, and there's like this congestion and clogging of ships that can't get into the port. This is going to affect the not just the food chain, but this is going to affect the product chain, our commodities like toilet paper, tissues, paper towel, household, Lysol wipes, things like that. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out why there's so much congestion. So I've been doing some research online here, and it's talking about there's a trucker shortage right now, and this is considered peak season. There's a sheer volume of containers with current SSL that are able to carry on their ships to contribute to the congestion. Okay, I don't know what that means. Let me go to this. Hold on. Bear with me. I should have had this up already. I'm really sorry, guys. So there's all these container ships sitting in the Port of LA in Long Beach, California that are waiting to unload, and they cannot unload. It has to do with a multitude of things, a lack of truckers, a lack of people not working, basically. It's kind of funny. I don't know how to put this. What's funny is when you took away the people's unemployment, those who are on it, thinking that would force them to go back to work. People aren't going back to work. People are doing other things. They're doing stuff online. They're working online. They're not going back to work. Why go back to a $12 an hour job? It doesn't pay the bills. Some people make more money online. So it's kind of funny how Congress and the politicians tried to stop the unemployment, and it just kind of turned around and bit them right in the ass. Because now there's a shortage of workers, which is going to affect us as consumers. Okay? So just be prepared for that. That's a warning to all of you. I guess if you pay people a living wage, people will want to work. I don't understand that concept. If you pay people a living wage, it will get people off of those government assistance programs. Hello? Oh, anyway, so yes, the Port of LA is clogged, and hold on. I don't know what's that coming through. I'm just going to read you this little clip. Anyone who works with imports knows that the ports of LA and Long Beach are very congested. In fact, that's most likely an understatement of the issues currently present. According to international trade statistics, 40% of all cargo that comes through the U.S. is routed through the Port of Los Angeles and Long Beach. This simultaneously contributes to more congestion, higher shipping frustrations, as congestion leads to delays, which ultimately leads to higher costs and missed deadlines. Trucking cargo out of LA ports is becoming increasingly difficult and untimely. Many sources are referring to the congestions as being of the worst state has ever experienced. Terminals are full due to blockages of large vessels and the tedious task of unloading each one. Cargoes arriving but not available or receiving per diem charges at the LA and Long Beach seaports. Um, so there's chassis shortages, there's trucker shortages, there's peak season shortages, there's big ships and SSL shortages. And in conclusion, um, the chassis and trucker shortages on peak season and the sheer volume of containers, I think I just read this. This is bad. This is not good. So what I'm trying to say is stock up, have a little patience, realize you're not the only ones. I'm noticing it here. Where I live, you have to head down the 89 from the 40 or the 10 in Phoenix to bring product. And I'm going into grocery stores and noticing that there's no shipments of food. There's empty. Things are empty. Okay. For some of you that are noticing this and just going, that is an omen. That is a precursor to something coming greater. Stock up. I'm not trying to fear you. I'm just trying to prepare you. It's nothing to do with fear. As long as you know what's getting ready to happen, you can stay a step ahead of the game. That's a warning. Stock up. I just found that kind of interesting. I saw that cross my news flash this morning about the cargo being congested down there in LA. Very interesting. But there is a labor shortage. Even here, my daughter was telling me she went to Little Caesars and she said it was closed. I said, well, why was it closed? And she says the guy says they had to close early because they have nobody to work for them. Here in Arizona, minimum wage is like $7 an hour. Who in the fuck can live off that? You tell me. Tell me that. No wonder nobody's working. At $7 an hour, shoot, I could sit on a Poshmark and sell stuff all day and make more in an 8-hour shift than I would making $7 an hour. I mean, think about it. It's insane. Anyway, all of you have a happy Tuesday. I wanted to just kind of touch base with you. Be safe out there. It is Mercury retrograde. And please no signing of any contracts until the new moon on the 6th. I will be back here to give you a little new moon update. Full forecasts are now on Patreon, and you could join that for $5 a month. I put a lot more detail into your forecast. It's usually a paragraph long or two. And this month's goddess, I think, is going to be Lilith. I'm going to cover Lilith this month for the month of October. And that's about it. All of you out there, have fun, be safe, and I'll be in touch soon. Bye.